Welcome to Unfiltered. We're back in the house. We've just come off the back of quickfire questions where, oh, mate, I'm not even going to release the result yet, but it's phenomenal. So tonight we have a topic we're going to talk about. I think Mark's got something to talk about tonight, haven't you?
Yeah, only a little something from what I was
Thought
doing.
he was throwing you under the bus then. I really
No,
didn't
you
think you
probably won't
Mark-
find it interesting at all, but it is something that I've been up to over the weekend that I wanted to chat about.
So Mark's been throwing it around all day. Oh, I'm so hard. I can't wait to get on here and start smashing this subject.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying all day.
It's not
Sam.
throwing keys in a glass bowl, is it?
No, it isn't.
Can I
Jesus
come and
Christ.
play?
Oh,
No, it's actually
gross.
probably something as bad though, but in a different way.
Go on then.
I went to play bingo on Sunday night at a Mecca bingo hall.
Oh, mate, let me
Stresses
tell
me
you.
out. Stresses me out.
I would
You
love
can't try
to.
harder.
No.
love
Do you know
it.
what? When you said you went and played bingo, we're having a date night on Friday. We're going bingo. She don't know yet. We're going
It's
bingo.
brilliant.
Thing is, I went about 3 years ago with my other half, and we went with a few friends, and I've never ever played bingo in my life. Never ever. And we got the dabber, they explained the full house, the lines. I was like, right, okay. The woman reads that bloody quickly, and I didn't understand the references. If I didn't hear the numbers, she'd go, you know what they say, 69, whatever.
Of course they do.
Why I came up with
69
69.
with Nick.
Yeah.
Careful self. And which was fine. But then my other half's friend and my other half, they had like 2 or 3 books each, and they were going bang, 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 bang. And I'm like, I don't know how you're doing that. And then looked
They're like
across, and
pros.
someone's got a tablet where they bought books or whatever you want to call it, whatever they're called. And when it's being read out, it's filling it in for them. And I was like, well, what? Why?
What's the point?
And I was like, well, what's the point in you being here? And they were literally just sat there having a drink, having some food and whatnot, and watching that thing. And you bingo, yeah, we come around and check a tablet. What's the point in that?
See,
Yeah,
my
Yeah, no,
brother-in-law
that
used to
stressed me
go-
out. I want to go to a basic one.
Yeah,
there's
like a
fun
village
stuff
hall
about it.
somewhere.
You need to go to a
Mecca
rough
ones
one.
are cool. They had like a 12 grand jackpot when they shared it around a few other centres. I'm like,
Yeah.
that will do me. But we had the discussion before we got there. The missus was like, "Oh, we're gonna split our winnings," and I was like, "Nah, I want to win for me because I know if we're splitting it, it's gonna get spent on furniture or some bloody stupid sideboard or some picture that she wants. Nothing I'm interested in. If I win 12 grand, then something like I don't know, jet ski or something. That would be quite a nice
Yeah.
thing to have. I don't want to waste it on boring rubbish.
And
So
it's like
I've
fully
scrapped that
special
one
prize,
off.
isn't it?
Well, but I literally had this. We went out for lunch with my mom, and she lives by herself. She had all my dad's life insurance through, and bit by bit, she's taking bits out and spending it. And she's just had a new bathroom and done bits and bobs, and she's just given me and my brother £1,000 each, which was really, really generous of her. I said, I genuinely don't want it, and she was like, no, it's a gift and everything. As soon as we got home with her, I was like, oh, we can get some new carpet for the all-stairs landing. I was like,
Yeah, you wait
I
till you
wouldn't
get to
say
my
nothing.
age.
I wouldn't
And
say
then you-
nothing.
Yeah, you're literally like, oh, what do you want for your birthday? Oh, because we need a new carpet.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I want that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, cheers. Like this.
Yeah, it is quite a realization when like Christmas comes around. You're like, listen, don't buy me anything. I don't, cause
Yeah, we don't do
You got
Christmas.
like I don't do pretending. Yeah, so I don't pretend. If someone buys me something crap for Christmas, I'm like, shouldn't have. Like I don't care. I'm murder. And like, and like in my family, it's kind of accepted. Like my mum's the same. You know, we ain't trying to make an effort. If it's not something we want, we're like, can you take that back? My dad's the same. My brother's not, and my sister's
Does every
not.
present come with a receipt just in case?
Yeah,
Well,
a gift
the-
receipt.
But
There
do
you
you know
go.
what? My wife's family, they all like, they're so like, they would never make a fuss about something.
Oh, a mouldy loaf of bread. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. They'd be like,
Oh,
oh,
scrape
thank
that
you.
off. They're all
Maybe I
good.
can make something out of it. Me now, I'll be like, why have you bought that? And one year they bought me. Her sister tried it. Her sister tried it by buying me something they bought me last year, but because I didn't go for Christmas that year because I had to do something else, they recycled the Christmas present, but I'd already bought it, and I was like,
Oh, so they gave
I've
your
already got
present
one.
back to you.
no,
Oh.
they gave me the Christmas present that they bought me last year,
Right.
but I already had one. So then they gave it to me. I was like, I don't remember asking for this. Why have you bought me this? And the whole
Skin
room
foot.
just went, ooh, all you could hear tumbleweeds. And her mum just walked out, and I was like, but I don't understand. And then her stepdad goes, well, now you've got 2. And I was like, but I don't want to. Where am I going to put this?
I didn't want the first one.
It's like I'm almost like Asperger's with it. I'm like, well, where am I going to put this? I don't need this now.
What was it?
It was one of these. It's like a rolling seat for my shed.
I can understand why you only want one of them.
Well, I don't
It was
want
like
2.
another iMac. Yeah, right then.
Yeah, like buy me 2 iMacs. That's sweet.
Yeah. Fair enough. But other than that, yeah, we've completely gone off the topic of bingo. But yeah, bingo's wicked.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Friday. A bit of bingo in the house. Have we got anything actually interesting to talk? Oh fuck!
Have you seen the Isolate for Life thing again today in London, where they've been laying down in the streets?
Oh, good shout,
people,
Mark.
A few people dropped me messages working down in London saying how they've got snarled up for like 3 hours.
Don't they just drag them out of the way?
Some
Just
people
They
did.
have started doing
rip
that
and
now.
tear.
Yeah. Well,
It's just, you got to get on.
Fixed Radio rang me up today because I do every now and then I jump on, and they had a guy.
Me
from
too.
there.
So relax.
They were obviously desperate. And they had a guy on from there first and then had me on afterwards, and they were like, what's your opinion on it? I was like, well, I can only give you from what I've seen on social media because it doesn't affect me up here. And the same with you, Mike. It probably wouldn't bother you at all. It's not up here.
Nah.
I just gave my honest opinion on it. And it's just like, I get that they want to make a stand and I get they want publicity. But in this instance, I think not all publicity is good publicity.
I don't even watch the news.
No,
No,
I think
We
what
said
they're
this
doing-
last week, didn't we?
Yeah, what they're doing is annoying the people they want on their side. The
See me now?
grafters, the tradesmen, the people that would vote and help get this to government, they're just pissing everyone off other than the government.
Do they not think that people have lost enough money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's such a rough time to do it as well. Such a rough time.
Protesters. There's ways about doing things properly, and I get it, and I understand that the good causes and all the rest of it. But I'm not being funny. When I was at my lowest, and if somebody was stopping me, and when I could go and work, I'm probably going to run them over.
Yeah.
Because, what,
this
mate?
is the thing. This is the thing. It's going to happen soon. Someone's going to snap.
I think it
They
did.
will.
Someone run them over, didn't they, today? There's one person
Did they?
who's been
Ford.
mowed down.
I saw a VW transporter pushing past and bumped. Once they rid him over,
Black.
bumped him out of the way, and he's just
green
like,
written on the side of it, was it?
respect.
But
You lie down
this
in the
is
middle of
my
the road
thing.
and it's a green light. You're going to get mowed down at some point.
This is my
What
thing,
about-
though. Would they go out like? I'll tell you what. I will not moan about them if they get on a plane. All of them go get on a plane, fly over to China, try that shit out there. See how you get on.
I
Because
don't
I
understand the blocking up traffic thing, because that's just causing pollution, and they're trying to work away from all that, aren't they?
do you know what they need to do?
Green
Do you know
move.
what we need to do? You know
there
the
we go.
big long cable ties, the big long ones. They're fat like that,
Not the
and they're,
police
and
issue
about a
ones, yeah.
meter. What you do is you grab them by their silly high vises, you pull them over to a lamppost, and you just put it around the back of their high vis,
good shout.
and then just keep pulling them over, and they
This is
can't
what
keep coming
I
back.
think's silly about
Oh.
the country is the people. And I saw one of the guys that was about a week ago. They were all lying down, all sitting down, all linking arms. And you got the police there, and you got this massive builder. He must have been a bit 6'6", bald, massive chap. He just went, "Oh, fuck this," and he grabbed one of them.
Yeah.
And he just dragged them to the side. And you got the police officers pushing him, and he walked straight through them, off, like pulled him outside. He said, "You're gonna get hurt." And then everyone shouting at the police officer saying, "This guy now is doing your job."
Yeah,
And
that's right.
he got in trouble with the law because he was removing a guy sat in the middle of the road. How aren't the
Yeah.
police allowed to go, "No, listen, mate, it's not safe. This is not only endangering you, but all these other people, these thousands of people you're now blocking up, emergency services, people on the way to hospital, hundreds
Will
of
you
other
imagine the
things."
amount of shunts that goes on with that?
Do you know what I
and
mean?
You've got
Where's
your wife and kids in the car, and that happens because inevitably your kids are screaming in the back or whatever, and then split second not concentrating, it's bang bang bang, and then there's so many different things. I mean, do any of you lot watch Asheville's? Have you seen that on YouTube? Daniel
No.
Asheville. He's got he starts like an aggregates company and stuff. He had protested because he's supplying for HS2. And he had protesters coming down to his yard. Now, he's a big guy, and and they were being really racist to him. And he was told not to. He had to bring all the wagons in, lock all the lock all the gates, and the police were on their way, and one of the protesters threw something at the people, or one of his staff members or something, and something that happened, and the guy who works for Ashwell's just threw it to one side, but it just caught this policeman. Didn't bother him, didn't hurt him. He was like, "Look, I'm really sorry," and he's like, "No, it's fine." But the protesters made that bloke get the police officer arrest him, and he had to go to court. He had to be suspended from work, and it was just. And he's like, "I'm just doing my job," and they were being really racist. They were breaking into his yard. There was loads of stuff going on, and he's like, "This is not how you. If I'm not supplying HS2, someone else is going to. So why are you trying to stop something that I have no control over?" And it's just a minefield. And I
this whole thing, like, I do get it though. I do get it, because when you look into how badly the Earth has been ravaged, like in the last 50 years, it's bad. I don't know if you've seen that is it Seaspiracy? I had to stop watching it. It's a documentary on YouTube. It's all about, you know, the overfishing of the seas. And they're like, and then not just that, they're like, it's basically empty now. The sea's basically empty of sea life, because of these massive super trawlers. Like a bluefin tuna's worth 40 grand now. Just one tuna's worth 40 grand. And the other day I was on a job, on that school job, and the guy I was working with there, he grew up in a town called Deal. It's a seaside town near me down in Kent. And I said, like, did you never like have a go on the fishing boats and all that? And he goes, I did, but they're all gone now. I was like, why? And he goes, there's no fish. He said, like, there's no fish. So far, like... You ain't going off the coast of England and going to catch enough fish to keep a business going. He said, it's all gone. It's all gone. And that's terrifying. So if you think about how there is definitely an effect we've had on the seas, and there's definitely an effect that we've had on the land, there must definitely be an effect that we've had on the ecosystem and stuff like that, and cause these temperature fluctuations. But when I am on their side, and I don't know how close, because you'll never know. Really, you can do all the reading, all the looking in, all the research and all that stuff. You'll never really know the truth about how bad it is, because the data that's out there is so fucked about with. You'll never really know.
The CO2 one's an interesting one, because there's been those volcanoes erupting, hasn't there? And they say that one of those is like 6 years worth of all of humanity's CO2 production from one volcanic eruption. So
I've heard
you don't know.
Like
you don't know if some of what they're telling us about our own contribution to the global warming effect, we're maybe a bit smaller in that than we realise. Because these volcanoes erupt all the time, every year. There's different ones all around the world.
I'll be honest, Mark. I know what you're saying, but I find it really hard to believe that we've not had a serious detrimental effect.
Definitely.
I think it has to be.
I think we like to think we can control things that perhaps are way beyond our control as humans on this planet. It's been warming and cooling for millennium, hasn't it?
And
it's not something
going into
new.
several different ice ages and come out from the other side, and this is the natural circle of our planet. It's a cycle, overheats, and then it goes into an ice age and it comes back. We've just slightly accelerated it with all the stuff we've done.
Do you mean the solar maximus is about to well, that's what they call it. It goes through the sun cycles, and it's about to approach solar maximus. So that could be also having an effect.
Maybe that's why WhatsApp's down.
Well, you
never know. Solar flare, man.
Took the satellite out.
Still down.
The problem is with all this, this problem is with all like the, a lot of the protesters and things like that. That really, it doesn't matter how many people lie down. It's not going to make any difference.
Nothing.
Because it's down to money. It all comes down to money, and the people actually in power, they're the ones. Because let's face it, how many times do we vote? Do you all vote?
I've stopped voting. I've stopped voting.
I've not voted. I think I voted once, and the reason why is because they promise you all these things, so they get into power and they go, actually, realise can't do that, can't do it. So what is the point? So this is why it loses that distrust. So they're the ones who really can control these things. And if they sanction stuff and say, look, we can't do this. I mean, like the HS2, there's a site that we're working on very close to where I live, and they've got HS2 running through. And you look at it, and it's such a massive infrastructure for all the farms and stuff that they're just gone, and they've split farms down the middle. But they're decisions that are out of normal people's hands. You haven't got. Doesn't matter what you do. The decisions have already been made. It's just that now they've become public. So I don't know what else you can do.
No, there's very little to be done about the climate situation, and certainly in this country. And I was watching, it's on some sort of panel show years ago, and they had this guy on there, and he went, really well spoken guy, and he said, "Well, the UK, are only ever 2% of the CO2 and the carbon emissions in the world. So no, it doesn't matter what we do in this country, we will only ever be 2% of the solution." And I was like, my man speaks pure sense. Like, it doesn't matter what we do in this country. We could shut down everything tomorrow and it would have no impact. No impact on the rest of the world.
We're tiny compared to Russia, China, the US.
Nothing.
Yeah, these
you
massive...
think of how much pollution went in the air from the Australian bushfires. Like, but we can't control that.
It is so mental. It's so mental. Like, shutting down roads in London and wherever else and stuff like that. It's so dumb. Like, if you're about it, go and be about it. Go out to China, kick rocks out there. Go out to America, see how you get on. Go out to, like, wherever. Go out to these mad countries and kick rocks. Because I guarantee you, you will not be carrying on like that.
The problem is, if everyone does do something, it's going to spur people on. If you have the mentality of, no, I'm agreeing with you, but the mentality of, I don't vote. And when I say, oh, my vote won't count, and then the next guy says I won't vote, so it won't count, to the point where it's a tumbleweed, no one will vote. But if one person
but that's a different thing. And do you know why
people will go around and do it?
That's a different thing. And do you know why voting's dumb?
No, I'm not on about just voting. I mean the mentality of, oh, I can't be bothered, I'm too busy, I won't do it.
But I get what you're saying. It's like somebody else's problem, isn't it? It's like,
you push it on, and these people are going, no, I'm going to make a stand. Obviously, there's a point to be made.
It's a dumb stand. Why are you making that stand for? There's a million stands you can make, and that's the dumbest stand.
But some people want to do it. Like, that's fine.
No, it's not fine. It's not fine. No, it's not fine.
Yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion and things that they want to do.
No, they're not. Listen,
yeah, they are.
To an opinion, but don't be blocking up street.
Yes, and I'm not agreeing with that bit. I'm just saying, with their mentality that they want to make a change, that's great, and more people.
Joe, I'd love to see one of them like divs sitting there, like never done anything in their life, probably banging on the doll, and then some dude just runs up with steel toe caps and boots them in the face, kicks their teeth out, slow motion,
like really old school UFC.
Like, yeah, and just kicks them straight in the face. And then that becomes a meme. So it's kick a protester becomes a meme. Hashtag kick a protester. Bam. And then before you know it.
Getting that trending.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't think Mark does either.
That's a bit of a...
Listen, it's all in jest. I'm just talking nonsense, and that's what I do. I'm not inciting violence. Don't go kicking protesters. But I would like to see a video of it.
Brilliant.
Definitely getting pulled from the
other side of that coin with all the politicians and their bribes and stuff on the news as well. So you're on about the protesters, but you've got the top-level political parties taking backhanders from people by Russia.
but this happens all throughout. Like, this is the problem. Like, with all the, I mean, sadly my father-in-law's passed away, but when he was very, very poorly and coming to the end of his life, there was local councillors coming round, and it was at the time when all the MPs, all their personal expenditure, all that came out. Oh my God, my father-in-law, he was like, you better come in. They brought them in the house, and he just had this massive list, and he went, I want answers. I want to know why you've been claiming all this stuff.
Fair play to him.
Like, yeah, and do you know what? I sat there and I found it highly amusing. I'm going to be honest, but this lad, to be fair to him, he was like, well, I don't really know what to say. Well, I haven't claimed for that. And it's just, yeah, but you're representing a bigger picture of what has done.
But this is the thing with politics in the UK. People like, why are people surprised when this bullshit happens? Like, when the expenses was going on,
be talking about politics. This is a bit like,
I don't care. Listen, it is what it is. When the expenses thing come out, who cared? Like, who was surprised by it? I wasn't surprised. No. I was like, of course they're having a fiddle. Why wouldn't you be having a fiddle like at that? You just would be. And then with this, all these backhanders going around and stuff, that's how politics works.
It's greasing the wheels, isn't it?
Yeah.
Over my head, I don't really have a clue, to be honest.
Well, me and Mark do.
Right.
Yeah, I know all about it. I just saw it on the news today.
Us domestic sparks, mate. We ain't got a clue.
Nah,
So-
dumb.
We'll just go put some cable in a wall and chase it. That's fine.
right. Yeah, house bashers. Yeah, I got it.
Right. Well, listen, I've had a very listen, I've had a lovely time tonight. A lovely time. I suppose
So you should.
Unfiltered. Thanks to our guests, Marco and Mike.
Yeah, man. Cheers, guys.
Nick's here as well.
Cheers.
No?
Cheers for having me.